We're continuing our discussion now of dynamic choices in a checkbox control in a grid, and we're talking about how the list of choices is changed dynamically when the user goes and changes the item type over here. So let's go back now quickly and take a look at the original custom control, the XBasic for that custom control. Sorry, not, I didn't mean to go there, I meant to go over here. And as you recall, we wrapped the choices inside a div called checkbox and then underbar 1 or underbar 2, etc. So now let's go back to our XBasic. This is our callback. So you can see now we're creating a JavaScript variable called Ellie that is checkbox underbar and then e.currentRow is the row number. So Ellie now is a pointer to the div that contains all the checkbox choices, and now we're just simply going and setting the inner HTML of that element to the HTML that was generated. But because this is a JavaScript command, we need to do a JS escape on the HTML. So we're setting the inner HTML of the div to all of the checkboxes, and then if the value of reset value, this variable, is set to yes, then we're going and we're setting the value in the foods field to nothing. So basically we're nulling out the value in the foods field. So this is the code that gets called when I go now and make a change. So when I change to fruits, our AJAX callback takes place. We recompute the choices and then we set the inner HTML of the div to display those choices over there. So at this point everything is working as we would like, excepting there's one little additional enhancement that we can make, and that is how to handle the undo. So now if I go here and undo, what I would like to see happen is I'd like to see item type go back to its original value, but I'd also like to see these choices go back to their original value. So when I go there and do undo, you can see now that we went back to starch and the list of choices went back to its original value, and the checked values were restored, and now the row is no longer dirty. So let's go and look at how we did that. So we'll go back again to design mode, and now this time we'll go to our client-side events, and there's an event that the grid exposes called after row cancel edits. So this event is called after the user has cancelled the edits to a row, and here we're going to just do another AJAX callback, just as very similar to the AJAX callback we did when the item field, when the item type field changed. So we're doing the same AJAX callback to the reset choices XBasic function, but this time we don't want to reset the value in the foods field because the cancel edits has just reset that to its original value. So we're going to basically pass in some additional variables, an additional variable called underbar reset value equals no. So this is why we started out this function with underbar reset value, dimming it to a default value of yes, but in the case of the undo function we're going to set reset value to no, and as a result of that this line over here will not execute, so we will not set foods back to a null value. So that's why after I do my undo here and then I do undo, basically foods is undone by this command and set to bread and potato, but the AJAX callback then that subsequently gets called does not reset it back to null. So this set of videos has shown you a very powerful technique for creating dynamic choices in a checkbox, but the technique would work equally well for dynamic choices in a radio button or dynamic choices in a drop-down box. Hope you found that interesting. Thank you very much.